I grew up in a Christian household. I talked to Jesus, prayed pretty much every day growing up. As far as making an actual personal commitment to Him and asking Him into my heart, that was probably after I started talking and working more with Chris Alexander, and he started Bible study at Cypress Bible Church for me. That's when I made an adult personal commitment. Now, I've always believed and had a relationship of some sort, and I'll get into that later maybe a little bit, with Jesus. When my mom died and some other issues happened at a church I was going to, I went away. I turned away. Intentionally or unintentionally, turned away from Christ and the Lord. And I lived like that for, 15, 20 years. At some point, I remember lying in bed not thinking, it was more like weeping that something had to change. And that's really when I started my journey back to Christ. It wasn't an overnight bolt of lightning kind of thing. It was certainly important, and it was certainly, at the time, for me, the most important thing in my life. But it's been a process coming back and getting closer to Him. Understanding the need for wanting Him in my life was certainly a very midnight kind of thing, lying in bed, just praying that something had to change. But then it was a process, and working with Chris and some others at Bible study, and really learning what it meant to be a Christian. I think the thing, at least for me, and maybe for others, is that it's a journey, it's a process, okay? It took 45 years for me to really get screwed up. And this is even when I believed in Christ, okay? So it's been a process for me getting closer to Him, learning what's really important, getting in the Word, but more importantly, living every day like I'm supposed to live. I've got a ring on my finger that's important to me. It was given to me by an elderly lady that's very important in my life. But it's to remind me how I'm supposed to behave. It's not to remind me that I'm better than anybody else, because I'm not. I'm just the same. Some days I'm worse, some days I'm better. But it's to remind me how I'm supposed to behave. But I think the message for that question is, don't expect, or at least for me, it was the start of a transformation. But that one instant in time when I recognized I had to change my life was just the start of the journey. And it's a journey I'm not going to finish until I go to be with Him. And I know that. There's a yearning within inside me, and I think within inside everybody, for something better. A yearning, a searching for peace and happiness. And it doesn't come in cars or women, and believe me, I've tried them all, okay? But lasting joy and peace only comes from Jesus. And to really know that, you've got to commit yourself to getting involved. You've got to meet Him more than halfway. You've got to do your part. Again, as I said earlier, the bolt of lightning may come for some, but at the end of the day, it's living your life every day to try to be a better person, to try and impact other people's lives, to show people the love of Jesus every day. And that's a struggle for all of us, because we're all sinners. And for me, that devil, he loves me. Okay. Some days and I let him. And that's what you got. You have a will. You have a choice. And you can through prayer and study and fellowship make a difference in your own life. You can help yourself.